What's up, guys? We're back here, Archeage Unchained, and let's talk about alts. So we covered in the other video that you can have 3 accounts per person. Very important notification. On each account, you can actually have 2 characters. Now, that's a lot of characters. People may be wondering, why would you want a secondary character on the same account? You would want a secondary character on the same account, on the same server specifically, so that you can get diligence coins, so you can turn them into labor rechargers, and then you can get these server labor. This is part of the reason why the players in the top of the gear score got so high, is that they had alts on their same account. They were getting an additional, 2,000, 3,000 labor every single day because of the diligence coins in the very beginning of the servers. So when the Arc Pass comes back, if you have an alt that is over level 30, you can actually do all the quests on your main account, for example, and then on your alt account on the same server, and you can earn all the rewards times 2. That's going to be approximately 150 diligence coins and then about 12 labor recharges per week if you do 12 quests. That's pretty damn easy to do. The quests are fairly simple, and you have a lot of rerolls, which means diligence coins are going to tank in value significantly. You're going to see a lot of people flooding the market with labor-intense items. Like, labor is going to be pretty much disregarded on most crafting materials and processing stuff. You're going to see players that are going to push to 230,000 proficiencies really, really quick. Because essentially, you can get a total of 10,000 bonus labor every day with the labor recharges. That does cost 15 labor recharges. But if you're getting 150 diligence coins a week, that's 30 labor recharges. And then you're also getting 12 from doing just the Arc Pass. So you're getting 42 labor recharges a week, which then, that's on your alt account, for example. So then you get 42 on your main account, which means per week you get 84 labor recharges if you spend all of your diligence coins in labor recharges, which you probably most likely want to do. 84 a week means you can use approximately 12 a day, which is damn near close to 10,000 bonus labor a day. So again, that is one of the reasons why players got so far ahead in Archeage Unchained during the first week or two of the servers and had, 5,000, 6,000 gear score at those times. The other reason is you have alt accounts. The alt accounts, you just sit there and have free labor. You have an account that's got 2,880 labor a day. You can then use it to process whatever. You can also use it to collect coin purses and open up coin purses, so your main account doesn't have to spend labor on opening coin purses. You can have, again, 3 accounts, so you could have your main account. You could have the 2 alt accounts who just collect the coin purses and then open them, and then you're getting approximately 5 silver per labor opening coin purses, which is a pretty good ratio. And if you funnel all of your gold, which is totally legal, into your main account will start to become really, really strong, having all this excess labor and, items, random items like Guild Stars and stuff that you get for just leveling up. They're going to become really, really strong, and they're going to be able to kill things really quick. They're going to be able to solo dungeons, which then it's just going to snowball effect into them having a really high gear score. And they're going to be able to, kill more people to earn more honor through PvP. They're going to be able to solo dungeons, like I said. They're going to be able to kill mobs faster, which is going to get you more coin purses, which is going to get you more gold, which is just going to complete the cycle of you getting stronger. If you end up actually running to a point where you don't have enough things to spend your labor on, you can use an alt to go ahead and make tax certs. Tax certs are probably one of the worst things that you could have an alt to do because they're bound. So the only reason you'd really want to do tax certs is if you're completely capped on labor, or if you want to make that alt account a like tax cert crafting account and put all of your land on that one account, which that is actually quite smart. So having one account that is strictly just for land ownership is a really good idea, because you don't have to worry about splitting your labor pool on tax certs and then upgrading your character or anything like that. You can transfer land over to other characters by the building management scrolls. You can craft these, or building management titles. You can craft them. This costs 150 gold from the general merchant, and then you need 50 bound tax certs. So it is somewhat expensive. It does take a lot of tax certs. It does take 150 gold. You can also get these from the diligence shop, and they cost 20 diligence coins per certificate. You're going to need 2 of these certificates to transfer over a house to another character. Once you have all your land on one account that is like just funneling just tax certs nonstop, you should be able to have like 6 or 7 properties on that account without running out of tax certs. And then as your proficiency gets higher in the construction proficiency, you'll be able to make more tax certs. So you should still be able to maintain, you know, that 7 or so housing on one account. I don't recommend having more than 3 houses on any account unless you're strictly doing construction and being a tax cert alt, because the tax prices go way up. 7 might even be a little bit too high for someone that is strictly burning all of their labor on tax certs. But the nice thing is that if you're doing that, if you're making an alt account, it's going to take you some time before you can transfer all your houses over to that account, or you can build up your houses on that account. So in that time, you're going to be crafting tax certs, and you're not going to be using them. When you have an excess store of tax certs, that's going to help you maintain all these properties until you get your proficiency high enough where it gets a lot cheaper. And then, very, very soon on the servers, you will also actually start to see people selling tax certificates. At 230,000 proficiency, you can sell tax certs. So you make tax certificates that are untradeable, or that are tradable. But you need to, again, have 230,000 proficiency. And when you have the 230,000 proficiency, that makes the tax certs only cost 180 labor to craft 5 of them. So it gets a lot cheaper. Those are the main benefits of having multiple characters, multiple accounts. The biggest one is to have 2 characters on your same accounts if you have a lot of time to use all this extra labor. If you have time to do those quests, the Arc Pass quests, which are coming back very soon. There's also other benefits to having multiple characters. There's a bed. So we have this buff over here, Clear Mind. And you are well rested. You can restore labor points by sleeping for a while. This is per character. So each character on your account can actually sleep in a bed and generate labor points. The beds can generate 50 to 150 labor points. And then there's also these items, the pajamas, that can generate more labor for sleeping. So for example, here we have the pajama set. We have all 4 of them. Each one gives 50 additional labor, and then when you have all 4, you get an additional 50 labor, which means every time that I sleep, I get 250 labor from the pajamas, and then I get the labor from the bed. I'm a cheap guy, only got a 50 labor bed, so I get 300 labor every single day for sleeping in my bed for 10 minutes. That's a pretty good trade-off. You can do that for both characters on your account, which means you can generate, you know, upwards of like 700, 800 labor a day if you have all these pajamas and a bed and a house. So that might be something, if you are planning to play Archeage for a long time, you do want to own a house on your character. That would be the only thing that I would recommend. Farms aren't really that great. Again, if you want to own a farm and do that kind of stuff, you want to put it on your alt accounts. You want to have an account that has really nothing else going on. They just make tax certs and they maintain your farm. You don't want to spend your labor points on different things. So for example, on this account is pretty much strictly mining. We did mess up a little bit in the beginning. We built some construction. We did some larceny as well. We did some commerce, etc., etc. You know, this is kind of normal. But for the most part, we have now focused our labor pool all into mining. And that's generally what you want to do, is you want to focus all of your labor into one proficiency so you become a master at it. When you're a master, you can craft the specialty things at 230,000 proficiencies, or you just get a big labor reduction. There are certain proficiencies that are really good at 230,000, and there are certain proficiencies that just kind of suck. They don't have anything. Mining is one of those that is really good at 230,000. Unfortunately, it is only good when there's not that many people that are doing it. So the supply and demand aspect is here. The more players that get to 230,000 mining, the worse it gets for everybody that is mining. The reason that you really want to get 230,000 proficiency is to specifically mine these ores, these unidentified veins. You need 230,000 mining to mine this, and you cannot have any buffs to get to 230. It has to be natural 230,000 mining. And you need that because you need to get the title so balsadly. When you mine that, you get a nice ore thing, and then you can pretty much turn that into diamonds. There's a couple other things that you can get, but the big thing that you get out of there is you get diamonds. Like I talked about earlier, construction also has a really nice thing at 230,000. You can start selling tax certs. So for example, if you are just having like 3 or 4 properties on your accounts and you have excess tax certs, you're going to eventually build up hundreds upon hundreds of tax certs, and you're going to have way too many. So what that means is that once you get to 230,000 proficiency, you can start selling all those tax certs that you have because you have plenty for yourself. So you can actually start making some money off of your extra labor and your alt account. Again, tax certs will be very expensive when they first hit the market because there's only, 1 or 2 people selling them. But as more people start to get to the 230,000 and more people start to selling and doing the same activity that you're doing, the prices go down significantly. Being a tax cert seller is not a profitable occupation. You're not going to make a lot of money. That's going to be one of the worst things that you could do with your labor. But if you have no time and you want to do that, you definitely can. Let's talk about something else that is that was a big part of the original Archeage, and that was cross-server alts. So this is the North America server right now. On this account, we can actually play on the EU servers as well. And we can have, it's like a brand new server. You can have 2 characters there again. You get all the same rewards and bonuses, etc. So like when we got the compensation packages, you could actually get it once on North America and once on EU. They're different regions, which essentially means they're different games under the same account. If they ever give you something on the Glyph store, your website, that is only for one character. It doesn't matter if you have EU alts or NA alts, it doesn't matter. But if they ever give you anything in the cash shop here, any kind of credits like the compensation package, that is available on both of the North America and the EU servers. Which means you can have a whole bunch of labor, and it would be really cool if there was something that was account-wide. Like in the old game, there was Apex. Apex was completely account-wide and went to your credits. So everyone built accounts on the other servers, the NA/EU alt change, and then they used their gold to buy Apex, consumed Apex, and then used it on their main server. They don't have that on Archeage Unchained. There are some players that are selling gold or trading gold from server to server. So they're looking for someone on the North America server because they play on EU and they want to trade their gold. So yeah, you can get I don't know what the right word is. You can get tricky with this maybe. How you use and utilize that extra labor pool, those extra character slots on the other region, but it's not as beneficial as it used to be. It's a really, really intense process, and that might very well flag you for bannings, because if you're trading gold without getting anything in return and not really having any dialect with that player in game, it definitely looks like you're gold selling / gold buying. And they are banning players for gold selling and gold buying. So we do know that aspect. Anyway, guys, that's it. Those are the main points of alts. If you have any other questions, post them down below. Thanks for watching. I will talk to you guys later.